You rolling, Freddie? Attaboy. Time is 9:47. The Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. Best example analogy I just got from my twin. Somewhere out there genetically, we got split. And now I introduce to you, as I promised you earlier this week, we get a chance to meet. And yes, you can join us online at 710 KURV, YouTube and X and Facebook, wherever Freddie has put us. We get a chance to meet. This week, we've been meeting some of the GOP, Texas, State House candidates for State House 41. And one of them is Sergio Sanchez, Sergio J. Sanchez. I am Sergio A. Sanchez. So, yeah, you get twice double the fun, double the pleasure. Two Sergio Sanchez's on the show right now. Welcome to the program, man. Thanks.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Yes, sir.
All right. You will not, well, I'm sure you would believe. How many phone calls and text messages, like when you announced that you were running for State House 41 on the GOP side, hey, Sergio's running. Hey, congratulations, sir. No, that's not me. That's my twin. Which biologically we're not twins. I just say that because he's also Sergio Sanchez. What's the J for, by the way? I never asked you.
Jose.
Sergio
Yes,
Jose.
Yes, sir. Dad's name, Jose.
Versus Sergio Arturo.
Good deal.
Yeah.
And the reverse is true. Over the years, they've always assumed that I was the guy on the radio. They've always assumed that I was a Republican chairperson. Going back a generation already.
Yeah,
the reverse. Yes, sir.
Yeah. You got some of that when you went up to Austin. You were pressing the flesh, right? Considering your run for State House 41, right? You told me that people saying, "Hey,
it came up."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it came up, and I'm sure it will in the future. And I guess the biggest thing we have in common is we both have the face for radio.
Do I need to file like an ethics report?
Oh my goodness!
Like for an in-kind contribution for 30 years of free publicity for Sergio Sanchez?
I think we get away with it with the A versus the J.
We're good to go. What has possessed you to run for state office? Let's start there, man, before you tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Sergio, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the invitation. Everybody here working with my schedule. And we announced a couple of weeks ago. It's been a great positive vibe that we've received. Jumping into it, I've got a mission of advocacy, and I've spent a career advocating for. It's been my job, 27 years. I was a young prosecutor going back to 1999. Over the years, I would call in on some of our bigger prosecution, you and Mr. Sullivan, giving updates on the murders and the capital murders and the big cases of the day. Back then, I was representing the county. I was representing the state of Texas. I was representing victims. I was representing the community. As a young prosecutor, there's a lot of great prosecutors there. I was happy to put my time in. I advocated. Since then, these last 18 or so years, I've been in private practice. I do the same thing, just switched to the other side of the table.
Okay. And a defense attorney then?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And other type of cases. Wow. We do other stuff, but mainly I'm still in the criminal courts. And I've just honed those skills. I think of advocacy. I think I'm decent at it. I present a near perfect record as a prosecutor. I'm proud of those years. I worked with a lot of federal U.S. attorneys over those years. Still now as doing my criminal defense work. But it's a mission of advocacy for the region, District 41. I want to fight for the community. I'm going to be in the business of drafting legislation, proposing legislation. This is my world. This is what I do. And really just fighting for this area and trying to convince hearts and minds that District 41 is not the bottom of Texas, but we are the entrance and we are the top of the United States. And it's a viewpoint, and it's just it's part salesmanship, it's part advocacy, but I've got it in me to fight for the area that I've grown to love.
Sergio J. Sanchez on the Sergio Show. Sergio J. Sanchez, local former prosecutor, now defense attorney for many, many years. How old are you? What year were you born?
73.
73, a little younger than I am, yeah. And he may look a little older. That's because he doesn't cheat like I do. I do the whole Grecian formula thing on my beard.
Looks good.
And my hair.
Looking good.
Yeah. And well, see, he's throwing a compliment, Freddie. Not like you're always throwing insults at me. Describe yourself politically, Serge. Like you're running on the GOP side, on the Republican side, and I thank God for everybody who's running for office. In particular, all those new faces and courageous names that are running on GOP side all over the Rio Grande Valley. So tell me about yourself politically.
So it's nice that we can be ourselves, and I've adopted the phrase common sense conservatism is something that just common sense has gotten me this far in life. I'm no different than the grandmothers that raised me. I think culturally we are a naturally conservative group. We have very basic, simple themes of family, of church, of enjoying meals together, of caring for your neighbor. We are naturally conservative people, and I would describe myself politically that way. The fringes, we've seen it. We saw it last night in New York. An avowed socialist is taken over not just the city, but kind of adopted the direction of the Democrat Party. I think the extremes on both sides. I think the extremes on both sides are equally. Well, they're not us. It's not me, and they're. That's one of the main reasons I wanted to jump into it. Raised by mom, of course. But with the solid strength of two very wonderful grandmothers that I believe look down on me now, but we are naturally conservative culture, and I think the region is as well.
10-4. What drew you to law practice, to pursue that when you went to college?
So I studied science. I was a biology major. They said, study what you love. If you know you're going to go to law school, study what you love. Doesn't have to be political sciences. And I love biology. And
so you knew early on you wanted to go to law school.
Yes.
I'm just going to learn biology on the way there.
I studied what I loved, and I did great. Yeah. I did great in my major, and I just gravitate that way to the sciences. But it trained me well, I think, for law school. Just the lab component of what I did. We would do research, and you draw conclusions, and there's analysis, and there's hypotheses, and you reach a conclusion. No different than law, really, no different than at the Capitol. Same. It's a good mindset, and it's good training. But yeah, it led me to law school. It's what I always wanted to do since I was a kid, and I just kind of gravitated that way.
Tell me more about yourself. Tell us more about yourself. Where you grew up, grew up, and you mentioned your grandma's quite a bit, and your mom as well. Yeah.
So born here in Edinburgh at the, those of us from Edinburgh in the district, remember the Edinburgh Hospital. It's not there anymore. So that was there across from the Ebony Golf Course.
I remember.
Dad was a professor teaching English as a second language to migrant students at the university.
Okay.
Mom had just graduated, math major, a Latina, in the early 70s was just kind of unheard of. It wasn't a thing.
Yes.
So she kind of fought through the stereotypes of the time.
Yeah.
And it was just young ladies at the time were not encouraged to study math. It was just more of a male-dominated
sadly, mostly area. From their families. Sadly,
unfortunately, but the reverse is true. Her older brothers supported her way through school.
Excellent.
Saved up, got her a Volkswagen Beetle so she could drive to and from the house, and she was the first one in the family to graduate.
Man, did you keep that Beetle?
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Man, that'd be like a great.
Got a few pictures.
Yeah, man, you can make some real serious money there.
Yeah.
Sergio J. Sanchez, attorney running for GOP. The nomination, you'll see his name on the ballot. Yes, you will be voting Republican, right? In the primary? Yes. You'll see his name, State House 41. And I keep emphasizing that because that's what leads to change. Because a lot of people, they like to vote on the Democrat primary. Because my primo or my tío or my best friends run for this judge or that judge. No, senor. The way we affect change is by continuing this movement. Sergio J. Sanchez is running for State House 41, one of several candidates. We know we have 3 so far. There might be more. The filing deadline is in early November, early December.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So signature issues. You mentioned advocacy for the area. Is there a signature issue either on crime fighting, maybe infrastructure? Like, is there a signature issue or two that you thought, you know what, we need some push on this?
So two things on that. I was happy to be invited to speak to the Sheriff's Department union, the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Department. I got to say, it's a tough crowd. I mean, it's literally the SWAT team was right in front of me, my first political speech. But I've worked alongside these guys and ladies, and they are the backbone of the community. The county is a big county. It's not just the city police departments. The Sheriff's Department is huge. It's a huge. We're a huge region. Chief mentioned that they get over 300 calls a day. Chief mentioned that they are lacking in deputies, and so I pulled our delegation aside, and they mentioned that the Sheriff's Department was seeking 12 to 15 new deputies. That is literally a tiny Band-Aid for what they really need. The chief mentioned the other day they need 130 additional deputies to handle the call volume that we receive here in the county. So you mentioned what's the signature issue. We need law enforcement to be supported. We need them to have the best equipment because we're dealing with some bad people out in the community. And on top of that, where we are at in the world, it's a national border security crisis. So that is just to make sure that they're funded. I also mentioned to them property tax relief, expanding exemptions. It was on the ballot yesterday. That those deputies and the chief and all law enforcement, including constables, DPS, and local city police, they deserve exemptions, no different than the elderly, no different than our military. They deserve exemptions on property tax, at the very least, for that percentage to be expanded.
Well, as I told you, these interviews go by real quick. Come back and see us. I hope this is the start of several conversations with many courageous souls that are hoping to represent our community. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for running. I always say that to folks that decide to run for office.
That the ship is slowly turning, and I am seeing positive change in not only in District 41, but the reverberations, including at the county courthouse. It's expanding.
Sergio J. Sanchez, GOP candidate for State House 41. This is the Sergio Show, Newstalk 710 KURV. This hour of the program is a service of Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. It's coming up on 10 o'clock.
The Supreme Court takes up tariffs. I'm Kathleen Maloney, Fox News. The Supreme Court is hearing arguments on